Supreme Chancellor Obi-Wan Kenobi by Stone Freak. Chapter 32. Workload Investigation begins. Master Anksu Namun looks up from her datapad at the sound of footsteps and the telltale sound of a cane made of gimmer. Her orange leku twitches, the only outward signs of her surprise, at the sight of Master Yoda and Master Windu heading toward her. A quick glance around the room confirms her thoughts. There was no one else in the reading hall at the moment, so they must be heading her way. However, she cannot for the life of her think of a reason for why the two masters would want to speak with her.
Master Namun,
Master Windu says and inclines his head in greeting. He pulls out a chair and sits down at her table, Master Yoda not far behind.
Master Windu, Master Yoda. She bows her head slightly. What can I help you with?
A mission for you, have we?
She blinks in surprise. What? But
I beg your pardon, Master Yoda.
She must have heard wrong. She glances at the crutches resting against the table. She still can't move around without them, and the healers have her on sick leave. They cannot possibly have a mission for her. No, she must have heard it wrong, born from her wish to be able to work again, do her part for the galaxy.
A mission for you, have we?
Master Yoda sounds amused as he repeats those exact same words.
I'm sorry, Masters, but you are aware that I am on sick leave, are you not? I cannot leave Coruscant, and am discouraged from leaving the temple for long stretches of time.
She trails off. What use can she be?
Don't worry, Master Namun, we're well aware. It's more of a research mission, I suppose you could say. You won't even have to leave the archives.
Master Windu says kindly. The Force sings in her ears, and she smiles.
Please tell me, Master Windu. I will gladly take a mission.
Anksu nearly loses herself in the archives. It is no small job to make a list and collect the data for every single mission the Jedi have taken during the last 25 years where a specific Jedi was requested. It's not the kind of job she usually takes as a researcher, as it's more slogging through information than actually researching. But she's willing to do it, especially when Master Windu and Master Yoda explained why they want it done. Someone in the Senate is altering mission parameters before the missions get sent to the Jedi? Outrageous and dangerous. She understands the importance of keeping it secret, and so she won't let anyone come close to her datapads and flimsy. She hoards and protects them like a great dragon from Tatooine. While she might have previously thought it was ridiculous that Master Kenobi was voted in as Supreme Chancellor, she now sees that perhaps it's the best thing that could have happened to the Order. In her investigation, she does find something quite surprising. She's finding far more missions where Master Kenobi was specifically requested than she would have ever imagined. Many of them before he was even ranked Master, and many requiring him to leave his still too young Padawan at the temple.
Stop it!
The sound of a young voice being far louder than it should in a library breaks her out of her thoughts. She looks up to see two initiates, a Mon Calamari and a Devaronian, pushing each other and laughing. She smiles. Perhaps it's time for her to take another Padawan? She has missed it ever since Jihan was knighted. Obi-Wan stares at the list Master Namun gave him.
It's long, very long.
The most worrisome thing, however, is how disproportionately often Obi-Wan's own name shows up on the list. Time and time again, his presence has been requested. No other name on the list even comes close.
This is disquieting,
he murmurs and strokes his beard. There is no way that he has this many specialties. There cannot possibly be a reason for him to have been requested on most of these missions. It simply does not make any sense.
I must agree, Master Kenobi.
Master Namu's face is grave, her lips pressed tightly together.
Thank you, Master Namun. This must have been an incredible undertaking.
He smiles at her, gentling his grip on the datapad and breathing out, releasing his negative emotions and their hold on him, pulling on the Force to find serenity.
Oh, I was most grateful to have something proper to do again. Being on sick leave is quite boring. I enjoyed doing something of use.
Her lips curve into a smile, and she looks at him from beneath her lashes.
I can imagine. I'd far rather be out in the field than stuck working from this desk undertaking all my duties from afar.
She snorts out a laugh and he grins at her.
All the more reason to get this war ended quickly, wouldn't you say?
She says, Lucky twitching in amusement. After Master Namun leaves, and truly she was a breath of fresh air from his recent string of senatorial meetings, Obi-Wan returns his attention to the datapad with the list. The evidence is pointing towards Palpatine having deliberately gotten involved with Obi-Wan's mission schedule so far, but there's no definite proof that the missions were altered yet. All he has is Palpatine's files with notes, not anything actually implemented. It could still just be a coincidence, Palpatine thinking that Obi-Wan would be a good fit for those missions rather than anything else. He strokes his beard and lets out a deep sigh. If Palpatine truly is guilty of this, it would break Anakin's heart. If he believes what Obi-Wan says at all. For now, he needs to call for Padme and Bail. Someone needs to compare the missions as sent to the Jedi with the Senate originals. Part of Obi-Wan wants to do it himself. However, he simply doesn't have the time. A wise man knows when to ask for help.
So you need someone to compare these missions with the Senate originals?
Bail surmises, eyes scanning the list on the datapad.
Yes. It has to stay secret for now, as we only have suspicions that could prove completely unfounded. However, we can't risk that someone finds out and possibly destroys the evidence.
Obi-Wan pauses and strokes his beard slowly.
I trust the two of you to keep this quiet, hence why I'm asking you for help.
Padme looks at her own datapad and nods slowly.
One of my handmaidens, Elle, is very skilled with computers of all kinds, and I trust her both with my life and the fate of the Republic. She could definitely be trusted to gather and compare the data.
Good idea, Padme. Your handmaidens can easily be unseen for longer stretches of time than any of us three can.
Bail says and puts his datapad down on the table. Obi-Wan takes a sip of his tea.
Just make sure she keeps jammers running whenever she works on it, and don't save the data in any place that can be accessed by someone other than yourselves.
Padme huffs.
I've survived this Senate far longer than you have, Master Kenobi. I know how to handle myself.
She arches an eyebrow, but soon breaks into a smile.
Of course, Padme. Obi-Wan laughs. This whole thing just has me a bit on edge, especially with everything else to take into consideration. If it does turn out that your suspicion is correct, that casts quite a bit of shadows on Senate dealings in general.
Bail pauses.
Perhaps the corruption in the Senate is worse than I ever imagined.
Obi-Wan closes his eyes and keeps his teacup just by his lips, breathing in the aroma.
As soon as I'm out of office, I'm not setting my foot in the Senate again for the rest of my life,
he grumbles before he drinks another long, slow mouthful of tea. Padme laughs and gets up from the couch, datapad in her hand.
I'll take this back to my office so I can get LA started. The sooner we know, the better.
Her smile is sharp, like a drawer shark, smelling blood.
Thank you, Padme.
No need for thanks, Obi-Wan. We'll get this galaxy in order. What better place to start than the ruling body?
With those words, she leaves the area, her skirts fluttering behind her, every inch of her a queen, still.